Hi everybody, it's Jo Sear from Pop-Up Vocal Training. It's now week 4 of my 2023 Song Challenge, and this week we have a request from my very, very good friend Colin MacLeod. Hi Colin. This is A Case of You. It is KD Lang's version of A Case of You, which was originally, of course, a Joni Mitchell classic. But there are reasons why he and I both love this version of this song, which I'll discuss afterwards. As you can see, slightly different setup this week. There are good reasons for that. I'll come to that. But in the meantime, this is A Case of You by KD Lang. Just before our love got lost, you said, I am as constant as a northern star. And I said, constantly in the darkness, where is that at? If you want me, I'll be in the bar. On the back of a cartoon coaster, in the blue TV screen light, I drew a map of Canada, oh Canada, with your face sketched on it twice. You're in my blood like holy wine. You taste so bitter, darling, and so sweet. I could drink a case of you and still be on my feet. I would still be on my feet. Oh, I am a lonely painter. I live in a box of paints. I'm frightened by the devil, but I'm drawn to those that ain't. I remember that time you told me, you said, love is touching souls. Well, surely you touch mine, 'cause part of you pours out of me in these lines from time to time. Oh, you're in my blood like holy wine. You taste so bitter, darling, and so sweet. I could drink a case of you, and I would still be on my feet. I would still be on my feet. I met a woman, she had a mouth like yours. She knew your devils, she knew your deeds. And she said, go with it, stay with it, but be prepared to bleed. Oh, but you're in my blood like holy wine. You taste so bitter, darling, and so sweet. I could drink a case of you, darling, and I would still still be on my feet. I would still be on my feet. Okay, so A Case of You. Wow, what a song. Joni Mitchell's song, of course, originally from the seminal album Blue. Gorgeous. I love the fact that it's called A Case of You, because when you think about the words "a case of you," you're thinking like a case of the mumps, a case of measles, a case of you could be a circumstantial thing, it's a case of this or that, it's a case of you. But no, she's talking about drinking a case of you, like you were wine, drinking you up like wine. And that just kills me. That analogy just kills me every time I consider it. You taste so bitter and so sweet at the same time. I could drink a case of you and I'd still be on my feet. Like she can never get enough, even though she knows it's damaging. It's just magic, absolutely magic. So Joni Mitchell's version, her original, was done in, I think it's 3 semitones higher in the key. It's a much flutier, oh, you're in my blood like holy wine. It's more kind of up there. She used a lot of folk upper registers. I'm sure you Joni Mitchell fans would have, known plenty about by now. K.D. Lang, though, is a very, very different beast. Now, both K.D. Lang and Joni Mitchell are from Canada, hence the I Drew a Map of Canada. And K.D. Lang recorded an album, I think it was about 10, 15 years ago now, called Hymns from the 49th Parallel, all cover versions of artists from Canada, because K.D. Lang is herself Canadian. So there were some Neil Young songs on there, and there were several Joni Mitchell songs, of which this is one of them. I have a passion for K.D. Lang ever since Ingenue came out when I was at university, and I heard that voice for the first time doing Constant Craving and Miss Chatelaine. The depth, the velvetiness of it, the slides, the creak, or just the depth of the resonance, that low resonance she's got. It just makes all the hairs on my arm stand up every time I listen to her, and I know that Colin feels the same, and I know a lot of other people feel the same about her. So what is it about K.D. Lang that makes her voice very different from Joni Mitchell's in this song? Well, because her voice has a real depth to it. It's quite a low resonance. It's actually quite low in the throat. Okay, so your larynx is in a slightly settled, on the low side kind of position. And she does a lot of slides. In some of her songs, it can almost sound like she's half drunk. She's sort of da 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 da. I could drink a case of you. There's a lot of that. If you want me, I'll be in the bar. Kind of very slurred, very relaxed kind of tones with very soft consonants. So she has that velvety quality to her voice, and that depth of resonance, which is just gorgeous. She likes to use creak for some of her onsets, her tone onsets. So if you think of just making a noise like a creaky castle door, it is a register of its own, actually. That is creak. And vocal fry is kind of what you would call that. But it's very, very loose. The vocal folds are very lax. So it doesn't really have pitch in that way. But people actually use it as a tone onset a lot in popular music. I, A, and. Okay, it's sort of a very intimate kind of sound. It's something that kind of eases you gently into the note. The example I use a lot is Enrique Iglesias. Would you dance if I asked you to dance? Which, I don't know how I feel about. Sometimes people use creak as a way of just kind of cheating on the first pitch and easing your way into it. K.D. Lang does not do that. She doesn't need to do that. She's using it purely for emotion, so I could drink a case of you. There's a lot of intimacy in that tone, so that's why she kind of uses that. And what I love about K.D. Lang is that most of the time she lives in that beautiful crossover between a quite powerful, deeper resonance. You're in my blood like holy wine, and then just gently you're bitter and so sweet. Okay, so she's going between a very powerful, resonant, lower register kind of sound, into a really delicate, beautiful, sweet head voice. And my favourite bit of the song is when she goes, that last chorus, you're in my blood like holy wine, beautiful, da-da-da-da, slide in the run there, the riff, you taste so bitter, darling, and so sweet, I could drink a case of you, darling. And there's the delicacy in the way she pulls back on the dynamic and switches register to upper register to just give that delicate. Those are the kind of moments that tend to make the hairs on your arm stand up. And the way that she phrases things, I was constantly, and I said, constantly in the darkness, where's that at? If you want me, I'll be in the bar, and things like, she makes different choices. So in the Joni Mitchell original, she sings, I'm a lonely painter, I live in a box of paints. I'm frightened by the devil, but I'm drawn to those ones that ain't afraid. And what KD Lang is just takes afraid out. So I'm frightened by the devil, but I'm drawn to those ones who ain't. And I really like that. It just makes a big difference to the meaning behind it. And I just think it's simpler. The original, go to him, stay with him if you can, but be prepared to bleed. She strips that back. Go with it, stay with it, but be prepared to bleed. And the fact that she shortens those phrases means you're kind of hanging on her words a little more onto the meaning of it. And I absolutely love that as well. So why did I use this setup today instead of using my usual piano and playing myself? So today I decided to use a piano backing track so that I could really, really absorb myself in the meaning behind those words, because with Joni Mitchell there's so much intention behind every phrase that I wanted to really savor it and just spend all of my time just on the voice and nothing else. And I wanted to use this. Now I'll turn this around so you can see this. So this is my condenser microphone. Okay, it's a Rhoda. It's absolutely beautiful, as you can see, and this is my pop shield to stop all the p and t clicking too much. But the reason I chose a condenser mic is when you're dealing with lower resonances, like in the KD Lang song, you really need the microphone to be wrapped around all of those acoustics. A directional mic wouldn't really work in quite the same way, and then an ambient sort of sound like I was using before would be quite different. I wanted to make the most of those lower dynamics by being able to lean into it and have the condenser mic pick that up. So you can, not really hear any other effects on my voice. It's just a question of it picking up that roundness, and also the delicacy when she goes into upper register. That's why I chose this setup this week, so that you could hear some clarity in some of those switches between the lower resonance and those higher things, because that's really what KD Lang's voice is all about. That's why, she's so successful at doing what she does. Anyway, Colin, I hope you enjoyed that. Everyone else, I hope you did too. I hope to do more KD Lang in the future, perhaps because, I feel she's neglected by modern generations. Don't really know who she is, and that's just such a loss, because, her voice is just incredible. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you next week. Bye.